นจุดบรรจบที่งดงามระหว่างยุโรปและเอเชียคือที่ตั้งของอาเซอร์ไบจานดินแดนที่ได้รับฉายาว่า Land of Fire จากเปลวเพลิงธรรมชาติที่ลุกโชนต่อเนื่องนับศตวรรษที่นี่ไม่ได้มีเพียงทรัพยากรพลังงานที่มั่งคั่งแต่ยังเป็นภาพสะท้อนของสังคมพหุวัฒนธรรมที่เปิดกว้างและให้เกียรติทุกความเชื่ออย่างเท่าเทียมอาเซอร์ไบจานจารึกชื่อในประวัติศาสตร์โลกในฐานะรัฐประชาธิปไตยแห่งแรกของโลกมุสลิมและเป็นชาติที่มอบสิทธิเลือกตั้งแก่สตรีตั้งแต่ปี 1918 ก่อนมหาอำนาจตะวันตกหลายประเทศหลังผ่านพ้นความท้าทายและการกอบกู้บูรณภาพแห่งดินแดนในสงครามคาราบักครั้งที่ 2 สู่การลงนามสันติภาพครั้งประวัติศาสตร์ร่วมกับสหรัฐและอาร์เมเนียเมื่อปี 2025 ที่ผ่านมาชัยชนะครั้งนี้ไม่เพียงแต่คืนความยุติธรรมตามหลักกฎหมายระหว่างประเทศแต่ยังเปิดประตูบานใหญ่สู่ยุคสมัยแห่งการพัฒนาและความร่วมมือครั้งใหม่ในระดับภูมิภาคความสัมพันธ์ระหว่างอาเซอร์ไบจานและไทยเดินมาถึงจุดเปลี่ยนสำคัญกับการเปิดสถานเอกอัครราชทูตอย่างเป็นทางการณกรุงเทพมหานครและในวันนี้รายการ Citizen of the World ได้รับเกียรติจากท่านเอลนูมัมมาดอฟรัฐมนตรีช่วยว่าการกระทรวงการต่างประเทศอาเซอร์ไบจานที่จะมาบอกเล่าถึงความสัมพันธ์บทใหม่และโอกาสที่น่าสนใจระหว่างสองชาติสวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Thailand, Your Excellency, and it's been a great honor for TNN, for my station, to have a chance for this exclusive interview with you. I guess this is your first time in Thailand?
Yes, correct.
I hope Thailand treat you well.
Yes, so far so good.
Yeah, and it's on special occasion as well, as I learned, because you came here to open the first ever Azerbaijan embassy in Bangkok. So,
yes.
What are the reasons that led to the decision to open the embassy here?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a great honor and privilege to be here in this beautiful country that I've heard many good things of. Many years ago, and I was always planning and wishing to travel, and I'm glad that now I had this opportunity. Indeed, there were a number of factors and important decisions that were made many years ago in terms of deepening our ties with the Kingdom of Thailand. We have been cooperating within various international organizations for many years, supporting each other's candidacies at the organizations such as the United Nations, the non-aligned movement that we chaired in years 2019 to 2023, and Thailand supported almost all of the initiatives put forward by Azerbaijan as a chair. Within the conference on interaction and confidence building measures in Asia, so-called SICA, where both Azerbaijan and Thailand are members, the Organization of Islamic Conference, where Thailand has an observer status, and so forth. And over years, we have come to a point where we realize that it would be very useful for both Azerbaijan and Thailand to expand its diplomatic relationship. By the way, we will be celebrating the 35th anniversary of our relationship in 2 years from now, in 2027. And as a follow-up to this, and given that Thailand has a leading role in the region, especially is one of the founding members of ASEAN, the most powerful organization in the region, a decision was made to expand our diplomatic footprint and establish our embassy. And I was privileged to attend at the instruction of my government this ceremony yesterday, and we first time ever raised the flag of the Republic of Azerbaijan here on the soil of the kingdom. And I'm glad that starting from yesterday, now we're in full capacity, in full swing, have the fully operational embassy of the Republic of Azerbaijan to the kingdom.
And where do you see the greatest potentials of the collaboration between the two countries? I mean, in which area in particular?
So early today, we had a very fruitful first ever inaugural round of political consultations with my counterpart at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I would like using this opportunity to thank my dear hosts for the warm hospitality and for being a very gracious host over the last couple of days. So we have taken a very holistic view of our relationship across the board. We spoke about trade and investment. Last year our trade was just about 300 million, but we believe that there is room for improvement, so we could do much better than that. We discussed the possibility of bilateral investments in both directions and the need to agree and finalize the agreement on the protection of bilateral investment, and promotion of investment. We also spoke about energy. Azerbaijan, as you know, is an oil and gas country, now expanding its footprint in green energy, and we discussed the avenues for cooperation within both the fossil fuel, the traditional energy, but also the green energy. And I should say that SOCAR, the state-owned company of Azerbaijan, has been cooperating with PTT for more than 15 years now, and they're now discussing the possibilities for expanding this cooperation beyond the traditional products and commodities. We also spoke about tourism. Obviously, Thailand is one of the most popular destinations in the world, if not the most popular. And of course, there is a lot to learn from your experience. Also, Azerbaijan has been investing in tourism in order to diversify its economy away from the energy sector into non-energy sector, and tourism is one of these promising avenues that we have in Azerbaijan, and we have been investing heavily in that field. And we are sure that first, in terms of the exchange of touristic flows and exchange of tourists between the two countries, this is one of the interesting areas for us to explore and continue to invest, and also the possibilities of using our countries as transit, as hub, in order to attract tourists. So in our case, we would like to see more tourists coming from Thailand to Azerbaijan and exploring our touristic sightseeing and other interesting places to visit in Azerbaijan and in the region of South Caucasus broadly. So, and for that, of course, we have been discussing the necessity to simplify the visa regime, and we are also in discussions to consider opening direct flights at some point. So there are no immediate decisions, but we hope that we will get there sometime soon. So we have also spoken about the middle corridor, the transportation hub.
Right.
Thailand could use the territory of Azerbaijan in order to ship its goods to Europe, and also in the opposite direction. So we're one of the major transit hubs in the region, and we have invested a lot in our infrastructure for transit of goods and so forth. So we had a lot of discussions around education, cultures. Obviously, I won't be able to recap all the discussions that we had for almost 4 hours today. And one of the important areas that I would like to highlight is humanitarian demining. Azerbaijan, after it's liberated its land from the occupation of Armenia, it is facing a huge challenge of clearing up its lands from mines. We have more than 1 million mines and unexploded ordnances in our territories, and I know that Thailand has been facing this for many years. So this is also one of the areas where we could cooperate, and hopefully will cooperate.
Do you think there are so many, or there are some barriers or obstacles from the Thai part that we could facilitate more to make it happen?
I don't think there are immediate barriers from either side. What I think we need to do is more invest in developing our relationship, because, for example, if you look at the number of agreements signed, there are not many, so just a few. So we just had earlier today, we signed the first ever memorandum of understanding on political consultations, which is between the two foreign offices, and that is sort of the first document you would expect be signed between the two foreign ministers and between the two countries. So it speaks to the fact that we are at the beginning of the journey, and there are more and more agreements that we hope will be signing, such as visa exemption for diplomatic official passports, such as BIT, the bilateral investment treaty, the avoidance of double taxation, MOUs across various fields such as agriculture, education, tourism, and others. So these are not been done so far. So As I said, we're just starting because despite the fact that it's almost 35 years into a diplomatic relationship in terms of the legal base, not much has been done. So we will be fast-tracking this going forward in order to get more agreements signed, because you have to start with an agreement, and then the rest will follow. So from that perspective, I'm not aware of any immediate impediments in either market, in Azerbaijan or Thailand, for developing our relationship.
Since Azerbaijan is also a major country in Caucasus region, how could we connect more between your region and Southeast Asian with Thailand as a center?
So, I mean, there are different dimensions to this. Politically, it's through the various organizations. As I said, we're very much interested in intensifying our ties with ASEAN as the most powerful regional organization. Actually, we're in the process of doing so. That is one. Second, we are also interested in seeing, as I said, more interactions at a bilateral level, and that is exactly why I'm here. Now, through the functioning of the full-fledged embassy in Bangkok, we will be able to deliver on that. I'm sure we will see more politicians, the members of the parliament. The parliament is also an important dimension of our relationship. We have friendship groups in Azerbaijani parliament, the friendship group in your national parliament, and their exchanges and their interactions are also an important element of our bilateral relationship. So more exchanges, more visits. We had a visit from our parliament last year, last April in Bangkok, and we hope to see the visit from your friendship group very soon. And then through of course, the trade and investment. As I said, this always brings the countries together, the entrepreneurs together. And we plan to organize a business forum here in Bangkok very soon. Through now that we have the on-the-ground embassy, we will be able to invite entrepreneurs from both small and medium, but also large corporations from Azerbaijan to explore various opportunities in Thailand. Factors such as distance, geography, we cannot change that. So I would prefer to work on things we can change and try to ignore things that we cannot. For us, geography is something we won't be able to change, but I think we need to use things that bring us together, not things that separate us.
In global stage, what is the positioning of Azerbaijan, particularly in some serious topics, I mean geopolitics?
So we have been conducting and pursuing an independent foreign policy, which is quite a challenge, as you understand, for the country of this size. And but I think under the leadership of our president, His Excellency Mr. Ilham Aliyev, we've been quite successful. You can judge by the number of first the positioning of the country on the global stage, the positions that we take within international organizations, the alliances that we have been able to forge in recent years, our relationship bilateral with the European countries, with our immediate neighbors, with Middle East, with the countries of ASEAN, with US, with China, with the countries of the African continent. You could see that we have been able to deliver on that, maybe even beyond some expectations, and we of course take pride in that. We of course take pride in that. Last year we were the president of COP29, the global climate conference, and we received the support of 200 states in order to lead that important conference, because this is one of the important issues on the global agenda, but also important for Azerbaijan to provide for the transition from fossil fuel to green energy, but in general address issues of global climate change. As I said, for 4 years we were the chair of the non-aligned movement, which is the second largest group of states after the United Nations with 120 member states, and we were very successful with a number of initiatives, such as the establishment of the parliamentary network of NAM, which also interacts with IPA now. We signed a document with IPA a few years ago. The youth platform, the women platform, we were at the forefront of the fight against vaccine nationalism, the problem we faced during the COVID pandemic. You may remember that some countries, the developed countries, were stockpiling vaccines and not providing access to vaccines to the developing countries that are the members of the non-aligned movement. So we were leading and spearheading that effort in order to provide for fairness and justice in the distribution of vaccines at the time. So many other initiatives that, of course, will eat up a lot of our time today. But in general, if you look at our positioning, at our role within the Organization of Turkic States, which is a very important regional platform in our place, recently we were accepted to Central Asia as a 6th member, now C5 it has turned into C6, with Azerbaijan sitting at the table with 5 Central Asian countries with which we share a lot of in history, in culture, in religion, now in economic projects, in transportation and so forth.
In terms of people-to-people connection, I know Azerbaijan because I'm the reporter, right? But I mean, general public in Thailand, they may know the name of the country, but they may not know much. If you want to highlight or if you want to talk about your country for the first impression for the Thai people, what would you like to address?
I think we have many things in common in terms of having a diverse culture, in terms of having a very delicious cuisine. And over the last 2 days, I've been able to enjoy that here, and thank you for that in Bangkok. And hopefully, then next time I'll have an opportunity to travel to the rest of your beautiful country. We have considered and have always called ourselves as a melting pot of many civilizations, because historically we were on the Silk Road, and that explains why we have so many ethnicities in Azerbaijan and so much diverse culture. We have 5 World Heritage Sites registered, inscribed on the UNESCO list in Azerbaijan, despite the fact that it is relatively a small country of 10 million population. I think in terms of music, in terms of culture, in terms of various events that we host in Azerbaijan from time to time, being sports, being Formula One, being a number of other European games, Islamic games, and many other high-profile events that both, not only political, I mean, for ordinary people, those may be not that interesting, but more of cultural and sports nature, and the various games, the football games, and we will be hosting with Uzbekistan U17, the FIFA U17 World Cup in 2 years from now. And that I think explains why Azerbaijan is also one of the popular destinations in our region. Of course, we need to do more in terms of positioning and advertising, and that is something that our agencies in charge have been doing lately in recent years in order to provide more information. So now you can see commercials about Azerbaijan, CNN, on Euronews, and other famous TV channels. So I think this will contribute to us seeing more and more tourists coming and exploring our unique culture. And as I said, we do have many commonalities with your people, with your culture, and I'm glad, we would be glad to see more people coming from Thailand to explore our region, and particularly Azerbaijan, which is on the seashore of the beautiful Caspian Sea.